Hello and welcome back to our channel. My name is Tristan and today I'm actually going to be doing something super fun and I'm going to see how much money that I can make in a week driving for Uber Eats. Now the purpose of this video is to really see if driving for Uber Eats or DoorDash or Postmates, things like that, are really a viable side hustle if you're trying to make a little bit of extra money. And throughout the video, I'm going to be sharing with you some different tips and tricks that I've learned, let you know the best times to drive, how you can make the most money, and showing you if this is really worth it for you. Now, when it comes to a side hustle, whether you're doing it for a few hours a day or you're really wanting this to kind of turn from a side hustle to a full-time job, hopefully this video will kind of give you a breakdown to tell you if that's worth it and if that's actually realistic, considering things like wear and tear on your car, gas mileage, depreciation, and then also things like oil changes and tire replacements and those sort of things. And with that said, let's go ahead and test this out and hopefully we can make some money. All right, so I've been doing it for a little bit now, and one thing that I've noticed right off the bat is that your phone dies really quickly. My phone typically lasts an entire day without needing a charge, but when I'm doing this, it probably goes 4 to 5, maybe 6 hours. But one thing that's always good, make sure you bring a charger so that way you can plug it in. Now, when you're ready to go online, the first thing that you do after you sign up your account is you just come here and you hit this go button. And the first thing, because of COVID right now, it's gonna ask you to perform a health check. So come down here, click on that, and you have to select that you're wearing a mask, and it's gonna ask you to take a photo of yourself. So this is kind of my setup here. I have it online right there in my car, ready to go. And one thing that I do is I turn it online before I leave my house, just in case there's any trips that I can pick up on my way to where I'm gonna mainly deliver, which is about 5-10 minutes away. However, if you're driving further than that, it may be a good idea to wait till you get to where you're going. That way it doesn't give you trips that send you in the other direction. Now, one thing that's cool about this app is sometimes, depending upon what time you drive, usually around lunch and dinner, there's different promotions that are going on. And so if you click up here, it shows you that there's a quest. So right now, I just need to complete 3 different trips to earn an extra $3. Now, it may not sound like a lot, but over time, this definitely adds up. It makes the value of your trips a little bit more. Essentially, I can usually complete 3 to 4 trips in an hour, and so this will give me an extra $3 or so for that hour. Typically, they're around lunch and dinner time, and you have about usually between 5 and 8 p.m. or 11 to 2 p.m. to go ahead and complete these different quests. So when you get an order that you want, you'll see over here the price it's paying, how long it's going to take, how many miles, where you're picking up from, and where you're delivering to. So we'll come over here and we'll hit that green button to accept it, and then it will start routing us to where we want to go. So we'll hit the bottom right corner to start navigating, and it's wanting me to flip a U-turn. So I'll come up here, flip a U-turn, and start heading my way back. If you ever don't want to accept an order, like for example, we just had one that came through that was like $2 for roughly the same amount of time, so we didn't want to accept that. There's a little X in the top left corner that you can click on to decline the order. All right, so once you got the order, you want to make sure to keep your mask on, but you can go ahead and click on the person's name and then click Start Delivery, and it'll start routing you to where they are. All right, now when you're ready to deliver it, you can go ahead. They have some instructions up here for you to kind of leave it at their door, or if they want you to like knock or meet them. And then when you do leave it at their door, it gives you an option to take a photo of it and then put a description of where you left it and then mark delivered. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. All right, so we finished up for the day on Monday, and I just kind of want to take you through some of the features of the app and then also kind of go over the total that we made for today. So you can see I'm actually still online. It's saying finding trips. I'm just kind of curious to see if I can get one from my house. But if we go in the top left corner, that's kind of the navigation bar, kind of where you can see everything. And if you see, if I click up here on my name, it shows you my profile, my ratings, how many deliveries I've done so far, satisfaction rate 100% because I'm the best, but just a few different things in there that you can see. The main thing up here is if we click on that total, that's our total for today, and we could actually see a weekly summary. So it shows we did 8 trips completed for $56.91. We're actually still waiting on 1 tip to come through. So that's one thing to know about Uber Eats is sometimes the tips, they at least take an hour to come through because that's how long the customer kind of has to change it. But it could come all the way up to 7 days later. However, one thing that I've noticed is I actually haven't ever gotten a tip that was more than an hour away. I've always gotten the expected tip that it said it was going to give me, and no one's ever like left a big tip afterwards. Now, if we come down here to the bottom, we can click on See Earnings Activity, and it shows us all of our trips for today. So first, we had one for $3.39. That was the one we were just getting to where we were going. Then we had a $7.95, $8.98, $7.33. We got a trip quest for doing 4 trips, so we got $4 extra there. Another one for about $5, $12, $2.63, $2.70, and then 3. This one, we can see here that the expected amount was actually $6.70. So we're still waiting on about a $4 tip on that one. And then on this one right here, the expected amount was $3.63, so a $1 tip on that one. So we're still waiting for about $5 more to come through. But between all that and our quests, it'll probably put us roughly around $62 for the day. And the first half of the day that I did it at, we can come back down here and see our earnings activity again. I was probably out there from when I actually got to my spot. Now, these times aren't exactly matched up as to when I got the request to deliver it, but I was probably out there for about 2 hours and made about $37-ish dollars. So really about $18.50 an hour. And then tonight we made about $25, and I was out there for about, again, probably 2 hours. Now, there was like a weird downtime where we just didn't get absolutely anything, and it was kind of driving from one of our far deliveries back, and so that was kind of a good learning experience. So really, the second half of the day, we only made about $12.50 an hour, which isn't great. The trip quest definitely added to that, but it was kind of a weird night and not something that normally happens. But we can see here our Monday earnings, and we'll kind of track this throughout the week. I'll get back to you on Thursday after I do the weekday ones, and then I'll do the weekend ones as well. All right, so today is Thursday, and total so far for this week, we have $204.70, so roughly about $50 a day. But you can kind of see here how it's broken out. So on Monday, we made $61.91. Tuesday, we made $28.09. Wednesday, we made $48.87. And Thursday, today, we made $65.83. Now, making $204 over 14 hours, that's roughly about $14.50 an hour. And really what I've seen is it's anywhere from about $12 an hour during the slow times to about $18 an hour during maybe the lunch and dinner times. And from what I've seen, even testing it out this week, but testing out in a previous week as well, is that the most I've made in an hour is a little bit over $30. I think it was about $33 an hour. I got pretty lucky with some of the deliveries I got. And then the lowest I've seen is probably around like $8 an hour if you get unlucky and you're waiting around for a while during some dead time. All right, so it is Friday. We are back at it again. Now, one thing I have to do before I go out is I need to get an oil change actually. So I'll put that in the price as well. Not necessarily the whole oil change, but the part of it just based upon kind of like how many miles I'm driving. But yeah, the weekend's supposed to be a lot busier than the weekdays, so we'll see how it goes. And kind of what I realized after the 4 days, it's actually pretty fun. Like at first I was kind of nervous making that first delivery, but really just like, I don't know, it's kind of like a game to me at this point, saying like, oh, how many deliveries can you get? What are the biggest deliveries? Make it fast, quick, fun. And the time really does fly by because you're always like, oh, on from one thing to the next thing to the next thing, without like even realizing what time it is. And so you can stay out for a while, but we'll see how we can do this weekend. All right, so I just got back the end of the week. It is Sunday night now. Just made a few deliveries. A crazy thing happened. I'll tell you about that in a second, but let's get into the breakdown. Now we can see that the total for the week is $522.09. We can see that Sunday and Saturday were the highest. I also kind of did it probably the longest on those days. We can see Sunday did total for 6 hours there. Saturday about 7 hours. And Sunday we actually made more than Saturday. And then like, let's say for example, we'll just click on Thursday. That was only for about 4 hours. But it tells you kind of how much you did throughout the whole time. Now, if we go back to the week here, you can see a total of 31 hours, 30 minutes, 68 trips, and then 241 points. Now, points just give you like extra perks and benefits things. They don't really make you any more money. However, they may be useful if you actually are self-employed. But I would say out of all these hours, I probably used about 3 of them, 3.5 of them, just testing things around or maybe like driving home or to my location. So probably wouldn't count those. But overall, it was a pretty good week. Now, if we do the math here, that's about $18 an hour while we were driving. And that includes the tips, the delivery fees, the boosts, the bonuses, the quests that I did to get extra money. But you can see down here at the bottom, it kind of says net fare, $298. and then $224 from tips. So tips do make up quite a bit of the money there. All right, Tristan, in the future here, I did get a $5 tip that I forgot to mention, and I got it in cash. And so that was an interesting one. I was actually delivering to a semi-truck on the side of the side of a Lowe's department store. And so, yeah, $5 cash tip, I guess, add that to the total. But out of all like the 100 or so deliveries that I've done, only one cash tip, which is probably preferred not to get cash tips just so it can go straight to my bank account instead of in cash. But yeah, just wanted to add that in there. Now, it's kind of dark in here. I am filming this in my garage, so I kind of have a light going here. But I just kind of wanted to wrap things up. And it was kind of interesting because my last delivery actually had me delivered to the wrong place. The right place was about 30 minutes in the other direction. And I was actually already by my house, and I didn't want to take another hour out of my day just to kind of go and make that delivery. It wasn't my fault. The customer put in the wrong address. And so I contacted Uber Eats support. They were super helpful. They still paid me for the trip. I think the fee was about $9.50. I unfortunately didn't get the tip. That was about $6 on that, but they did have me dispose of the food properly. Unfortunately, it wasn't food that I actually probably would have ate. And so I did actually dispose of it. But when they say dispose of it properly, they do mean to throw it out instead of eat it, but you never know, what people may do there. But yeah, I did dispose of it. And overall, it was kind of an interesting one. Definitely would have rather had the money. But yeah, a fun experience. Out of over 100 trips that I've done in total, that was the first time that an error like that ever happened. So it's pretty consistent. And yeah, like I said, about $18 an hour, a little bit more than that. But after you take out like gas and then maybe like oil changes and wear and tear on the car, really, for me, I filled up my tank 1.5 times, which cost me a total of like $30. And then maybe another 10, 20 bucks for wear and tear, other things like that at most. Still coming out with about $470 after the week, and about 27 hours worth of work, 28 hours or something like that. So like nothing amazing or anything like that. Like depending upon what you're doing, like if you're in a career that pays pretty well, maybe don't quit your job yet. But if you want to use this as a side hustle, make a little bit of extra money, definitely a good thing to do. If you're in college, this would be an amazing job in college. My recommendations are: one, don't accept every delivery. I probably had 2 deliveries out of the 100 that paid me more of a tip than was expected, maybe 3. One of them was actually today. I accepted a $2 delivery just for fun, and they ended up tipping $5. And so that was a really short delivery and ended up paying really well. But other than that, if it's a low fee, they're probably not tipping on that. It's already kind of built into the estimated fees, which is totally fine. People can do what they want to do as long as the app's kind of straightforward about it, which it is, which is great. I never got less than the expected delivery besides this very last one because it was the wrong address. And so I didn't get the tip on it. But who knows, maybe that will still come through. But yeah, the other thing I would say is definitely go around the rushes, lunch and dinner rushes. You'll make a lot more money than if you're just waiting around. Another tip is if you're constantly driving to the same place every day, turn your app on your way to kind of like your delivery area and maybe accept an order on the way there. Better than not getting anything because you're already driving in that way. Anyway, so yeah, might as well accept those orders. But yeah, it was really fun. I actually really enjoyed it. The time flew by. Yeah. Either way, it went really, really quickly. I didn't really even notice. It was like, oh, by the time I was into it, 2 hours in, almost ready to go home, made a good chunk of change, then on my way back. But yeah, overall, really good experience. I would definitely recommend it if you're looking to make some extra money. Like I saw here, I made about $522 in a week. You can definitely make $2,000 extra every month, which is quite a bit of money. And if you do want to do this as like a full-time job or a part-time job while you're in college, you can definitely make even more than that. And really, if I kind of did this casually, let's say on the weekends, maybe like one weekday, or even just like a few hours every weekday and then not on the weekends, you could easily make an extra couple $100 every week. And really $800 a month. That's really good for kind of a side gig. That's pretty fun. As long as you have a car that's not a gas guzzler. Again, I drive a Toyota Prius. I get about 45 miles to the gallon. It's great. My Prius is actually about 11 years old. And so really you could pick one of these up for like $6,000. And so, yeah, maybe it'd be worth doing if you need a new car anyway. Or if you want to kind of do this as a long-term job or whatnot. But really, Uber Eats driving, I'd definitely say I would do it again. If I was in college, I kind of wish I knew about this and would have done this in college instead of maybe some of the jobs I had. But yeah, you can make a decent amount of money Really 18 bucks an hour is really, really good for just knowing how to drive. I believe you have to be 19. But yeah, overall a great experience, super easy to set up, super easy to learn. All the restaurants I went to were super nice, super friendly. Deliveries were easy. Some of the apartment complexes were kind of hard to deliver to, but overall, really great. Didn't get any parking tickets, thankfully. I did definitely do some illegal parking, but it's okay. It was only for under a minute, so nothing too crazy there. But yeah, great experience, and I hope this video kind of helped you decide if you want to drive for Uber Eats a little bit, or I'm sure Grubhub, Postmates, DoorDash, they're all pretty similar. And yeah, I think DoorDash is the biggest one, so maybe you'll even make some more money there. But yeah, overall, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, give it a like, and subscribe for more content. Thanks, and I will see you next time.